This week on This Week in iPad, I've got all the latest tech news, plus another iPad game review of the week, and a really funky way the iPad plays drums. This is Andrea Renee, and you're watching another episode of This Week in iPad. I am sitting here with my fabulous co-host, Jacob Birch. How are you doing today, Jacob?
I'm good. Fabulous. You're better at complimenting me than other people ever were.
Oh, what does that mean?
Other people.
Are you having a bad day?
A little bit.
Oh,
Just a smidge.
Sucks. I'm sorry, but you look fabulous in that green shirt there.
Thank you. Very old green. Oh. I'm going to talk about clothes, and I can't...
What's up, Lon? What are you doing here?
Look,
I thought you were done with this show.
I know you guys are doing a show, but I got to make a call. I got to call Hover customer service real quick. I hope you don't mind.
Well,
I do.
Do we really have a choice? I mean, we love the folks at Hover, so of course, give them a call.
You don't have a choice. But no, it's only gonna take a second because Hover, they're so on the ball. They answer the phone like right away, so we won't even have to wait.
Okay, cool.
Hover, of course, a great place to get all of your domains. Next time you need to register a domain.
Thank you for calling Hover. This is Tyson speaking. How can I help you?
Tyson, hey, it's Lon. I'm calling you on This Week in iPad right now.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good. It's good to talk to you. I'm interrupting their show, so I'm going to be quick. I just bought lonharris.me on Hover. It's only $5 to get your own name as an ME.
$4.50.
$4.50 if you use our twi.hover.com code, actually. So I want to know about how to redirect that. I already own lonharris.com because I am being looked up every day. So I need to know how to redirect lonharris.me to lonharris.com. Can you guys help me out with that?
Yes, absolutely. Are you logged into your Hover account currently?
No, I'm not. I'm calling on a live web show. So you and I, we can work out. I'll move you over to my other connection. I just wanted to make sure I could grab you on the phone, and I wanted to get you on to talk to all of the lovely This Week in iPad viewers. But you can see live, we're not faking this. That's how quickly I was able to get through on hover.com.
That's amazing.
So I thought that was so important, I figured I'd interrupt their live broadcast. So Tyson, thank you very much.
Okay.
I'll hit you back later because I need to get all this going so I can be consistent in my social media presence, which is important.
No problem. I can get it done for you in 5 minutes.
Thanks a lot, Tyson. I appreciate it.
5 minutes. Well, you know what? I think that tonight, after This Week in iPad is over, I will have to go buy AndreaRenee.me. No one out there do it before I get it. I don't want to have to negotiate with you, okay? Just let me have it.
Everybody should get their .me. That's how people are going to find you on the web. And it's only $4.50, like you said. If you go to twi.hover.com, you'll automatically be using the code TWIIP, and that's all you got to do.
Magic.
Fantastic.
It's like magic. Well, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. I'll get out of your way.
Hey, you know what?
The only phone in the office, really. It sucks.
It was the only one. I had to come in here.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. In fact, you know what? Whenever you want to just interrupt us so rudely, feel free anytime. Just kidding. We all love Lon here at This Weekend. We work him like a horse, but that's what he's good for. All right, so we have, it was kind of an interesting week for news, which we will get to later. There was some breaking news. But first, before I get to that, I want to start off with some fun. And we're going to start off with the iPad game of the week. Ooh, look how fancy we are getting here at This Week in iPad. I like that.
My second favorite song, only second to the TriCaster song.
Oh, we do love the TriCaster song as well. So the game I'm talking about today is called Beyond Ynth. To be quite honest, I don't know how to pronounce the name of this game. It's Y.N.T. And this is the game. It's really cool. It's this cute little bug, as you can see. And this is a puzzle game, and it really, I think, utilizes the iPad controls quite fantastically. So I'll go ahead and hit continue my journey. This is one of the top-rated games that came out in the last couple of weeks. It's not too expensive. I believe it's only $4.99, about the same as the game that I talked about last week. This is the home map, and like I said, you're this little bug. His name is Cribble. He is on a big journey to bring light back to the kingdom of Criblonia. He's trying to find all the light-giving, dazzling diamonds that were stolen by the 4 dark spiders of the apocalypse. This is quite a complex storyline. So we'll go ahead and start with the first one. What's really neat that I really like about this game, here, let me give myself some volume so you guys can hear it. There we go. You can see here there are 2 ways to control your little bug. You have your little question mark down here so you can zoom out so you can see the whole map that you're on. And the goal here is to collect these diamonds that you see at the top of the screen. So you move by hitting the forward button here. And as you can see, I'm on a little trampoline there. And then you can jump over by hitting the jump over button. And now, if you tap this again, it rotates the box. So then you move forward, jump, rotate, move forward. As you can see, there is a little bit of strategy involved, and now I may make mention that this is one of the easiest levels, and they do progress to be quite difficult. So this is the diamond that I already got. I'm going to jump down over here. You can just rotate these boxes around like this until you get to the end of the level. I know it's very exciting, isn't it, Jacob? I can see you're excited. See, now this is where the puzzle part comes in.
Thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. Like,
as he's like texting over there while I'm playing the game, I can tell you're thrilled.
Yawning.
So now, as you can see on the screen here, this is where the puzzle element comes in. Now what I have to do is I have to figure out how to get inside this box by using the rotating skills that I have here. Clearly, you can see by my score up here that I didn't get it the first time, that I skipped it, as I'm going to do now, so I can show you some of the other levels, so that I could keep moving on. Like that, and just like that, you're done with one level. Now, what's really neat about this game that it kind of gives it an element of difficulty is that you have different levels in different environments. So you have some in the snow, which I'm going to do now. So you can only be outside of your little box for like a couple of seconds before your bug freezes, because bugs freeze in the snow, correct?
I think probably. Although not as much as humans do. They're resilient. Maybe not ladybugs. Maybe ladybugs. So
like, see right here, if I jump out for too long, he dies. Bam. Oh, so sad. So we'll go back to the map so I can show you some of the other levels. I mean, basically there's a fire level, there's a sand level, there's quite a few levels. I mean, as you can see here on the map, I believe there's 100 different levels. All around here, you travel across trying to find all these different diamonds. And the thing that I really love about this game is that you have to, it's not just like what we in video games would call a button masher.
Yeah,
That's
look at
right.
me. I played Diablo.
See,
I know what I'm doing. Yeah.
It's a lot of strategy involved. At first, you have to get control of the schematics. There's some really good tutorials involved in this game. And then it's really where the puzzle solving comes in, is trying to use how do I rotate this here to jump here? And you can only be out of the box for so many seconds before you have to jump in at another angle. And that's why I really like it. It's very stimulating intellectually.
Bug games, who knew?
Yeah. Oh, and I always like games that have a cute character. And come on, little Cribble, he's adorable. How could you not love his little face? So that's Beyond Ynth, or Y.N.T or Ynth. If someone in the chat room knows how to say that precisely, I would love some kind of
part of the fun, guessing.
Phonetic spelling. Yes,
guessing.
part of the. There's another game, if we have time later at the end of the show, that I want to talk about called Cut the Rope. Have you heard this this game? It also involves another cute character, and it's really fun. It's from Chilingo, the creators of Angry Birds.
Okay.
Obviously, we all know how wildly successful Angry Birds was, and this is kind of in that same vein of using strategy to progress through multiple levels. So if we have time later on, I'll also show that one. But we do have some really cool news that we want to talk about. But before that, I want to give a shout out to our good friends at Gazelle.com. Gazelle.com is an amazing site that we talk about every week here on the show. It is a website that you can go to sell all of your unwanted gadgets and gizmos and electronics that are laying around your house. I know we talked about this, that you haven't used Gazelle.com yet, but have you started to round up the stuff around your house yet?
It's starting to be rounded. I'm mostly again, I think the next big thing I'm sort of looking at is maybe this, my baby, depending on what the next version is, just because I can't see any use to having 2 iPads laying around. Maybe one is my travel iPad and one is on the couch. I don't know, but
wow, a travel iPad.
But again, I am such a nerdy, awful pack rat.
Well, I didn't know that you were such a jet setter too. Do you travel a lot?
Not necessarily, but I'm in the office. I'm not home very much because I got work here.
Of course you do.
I have to look up iPad news.
That's right. Definitely. Well, the average customer on Gazelle.com makes more than $100 every time they Gazelle their gadgets. You can, of course, use our promo code TWI5 to get a 5% bonus on the final trade-in value of your items. The code applies to almost everything on the site. Unfortunately, it does not apply to movies and games and other kinds of media. And you can only use it once per customer. So find the most expensive gadget you have lying around collecting dust and head on over to Gazelle.com. It's really easy. You just type in the name of the item. For example, I have a PlayStation 2 that I am looking to sell. Once I find all the controllers, I know they're somewhere. I just have to find them.
Somewhere.
Because the more original parts you have, the bigger the cash value you get back from Gazelle. Nearly 100,000 people have used Gazelle to safely rid themselves of unwanted gadgets and earn some cash while doing it. So check out Gazelle.com whenever you guys have a free moment. So now on to this breaking news. Do you want to start off by talking about it?
Sure. There's a straw here, and I've yet to.
It was for my water glass, so I don't, rub my lipstick off.
Right. Fair enough. I'm just staring at the straw in the middle.
I'll hide it so you don't have to look at it.
What does it mean? So it was announced, I think earlier this morning, early afternoon, that Verizon would start carrying iPads. Not a CDMA iPad, but it would be the normal AT&T iPhone, but they would sell it in packages with MiFis. And I think there's 3 different ones, and they sell you the Wi-Fi iPad on the MiFi and give you a little bit of discount on the upfront cost of the MiFi, and then they'll try and hook you on a year or 2 year commitment on the pricing plan. So this isn't a huge story in that it's like, okay, everywhere is going to start calling it iPad, except that it's been sort of thought upon that the main thing getting between Apple and Verizon, there got to be some bad blood, and Verizon was going to put all their eggs in the Android basket. They were getting pissed off that Apple wanted too much of a cut, and I think too much control over what apps could get preloaded and stuff like that. So that was the sort of rumor mill, and that's why Verizon would never get the iPhone. And this seems to suggest a thawing between the two companies and could pave way to give the Wall Street Journal and New York Times reports that the iPhone is coming in January to Verizon a lot more credence than it sounds. Not quite a done deal, but more or less it's happening. I would be my guess.
I would be hard-pressed to believe that it wasn't happening after this announcement. I mean, I have all the stats right here in front of me of all the different bundles that Verizon Wireless is offering with the MiFi and the Wi-Fi iPad.
I have old notes, so I do not. You are ahead of me. You are ahead of me.
What?
Depressing.
Bummer. Well, I will share with you because I'm such a nice person.
Thank you.
It says Verizon Wireless is offering a monthly access plan to iPad customers of up to 1 gigabyte of data for $20 a month, which isn't bad. In addition, Verizon Wireless will also offer all 3 iPad Wi-Fi models on a standalone basis, meaning you can go into a Verizon store and just buy the iPad by itself without having to sign up for a plan, which is another good way for them to make a little extra money. And there's no reason I see why Verizon would want to do this if they weren't going to be offering a service that they can use with the iPad. I mean,
right.
They're not Best Buy.
Or to appease the Android gods, the HDs and the Samsungs, saying, no, we're going to go with you, and as an appeasement, we're going to just sell you and not try and sell these other guys who maybe you've heard of the iPad.
Right.
Especially with the Tab coming out. So the fact that this is preceding the announcement of the Tab, that they would even carry the Tab for a little bit and then bring the iPad on later, it's definitely interesting.
Well, don't you think that it wouldn't make sense for them to say, well, we're only going to carry tablets and not the iPad?
It doesn't make sense to them, but at the same time, they've had a very good relationship with Google. The Droid got one of the only Google homepage advertisements ever. I think it's happened like 2 or 3 times. A lot of Android phones are on Verizon, so it could be seen as, strategically good to keep Google happy by, keeping the Apple riffraff out. That said, it's, it can only go so far. When everyone wants a damn Apple product, it's time to give in.
Yes, of course. I mean, I think trying to say that you don't want to be part of Apple's buying power is just ludicrous. And of course, you have to appease Google because you don't want Google on your bad side, because you kind of need Google. So this is kind of exciting news for everyone who's on Verizon, who's been wanting to get an iPad and wanting to get some service. Or
people on AT&T who want to get some service.
That too. I think we talked about last week how I said that there was like 20 to 25% of AT&T users that would switch to Verizon today if they could. So this is another incentive for AT&T customers. So they better watch out. Verizon's coming to get them. But I'm Sprint, so it doesn't really matter for me anyway. Doesn't really matter for me. Hey, I like Sprint. I'm gonna get my Evo as soon as I have, I'm
heathen.
to the
heathen.
I know. I know.
Awful.
It's all right, but I have an iPad. I don't need
alert.
Wi-Fi. I mean, I don't need AT&T service or Verizon service on my iPad. So speaking of new people that are carrying the iPad, there was also also another story that came out this week about Walmart carrying the iPad. But don't expect a discount. You would think that maybe if it's at Walmart, maybe they'd knock like $10, $20 off, but no, not going to happen.
And I think the Walmart rumors started a couple of months ago, and that they would get it around Black Friday. It looks like they're getting a little earlier. And Law and I debated, does this make sense? Are people in where parts of the country where Walmart are more prevalent, are they going to care? Are they actually going to buy it? And I sort of suggested it was a first trend. Like, they're going to start seeing it, they're going to start getting used to it and start recognizing it. But then it was the idea of, come holiday season, Target, Walmart, Verizon, AT&T, Apple, I think I'm missing one more, Radio Shack, are all going to be carrying these things. Who's going to, and if they're all offering the same product and they're all offering the same price, how can they, even Best Buy as well, begin to compete? Best Buy competes by having what they say is a cheaper and better replacement plan. Water damage,
which is where I bought my iPad. I bought my iPad at a Best Buy, and I got their black tie service protection. And I only got it for a year, but like the thing about Best Buy's plan versus Apple's is if I could intentionally throw my iPad like on the ground, I could like stomp on the screen with my stiletto heel and crack it, and I could bring it into Best Buy the next day and get a brand new one and no questions asked. Yeah. That's the difference between Apple's service plan and Best Buy's. And I think they're very competitively priced. I mean, the 3-year protection plan with Best Buy was like $280. Yeah. Which is almost half the price of the iPad.
And Apple's comes for free for a year, so it comes with the product, the limited warranty, as long as you don't drop it in a toilet, as someone may have found out on his own once or twice.
Wait, you know someone that dropped their iPad in their toilet and you're not going to say who it is?
Someone who likes to wear green polos.
Oh.
It wasn't my iPad, it was my iPhone. I've
dropped a phone in a toilet. I mean, come on, people out there, we've all dropped our phone in a toilet at least
Not all of us, but
at one time in our life, right?
But if it was my cheap-ass Nokia, it would have been a lot happier than my, what was then a 3-month-old iPhone 3G.
Oh, you got it right when it was brand new.
And it worked. I put in rice and fixed itself, but it started to show its age a lot sooner than maybe if I had kept better care of it. But anyways, the fact that they're not going to be discounting it at all, it'll be interesting to see if anyone tries to package it together. It'll be interesting to see how they say, this is where you should buy your iPad, don't go to the nearest store, please.
Yeah, they're definitely, I definitely foresee bundles coming. And as someone who's from what a lot of people around the country consider a rural part, I'm from Fargo, North Dakota. If any of you out there do not know, I'm proud to say I love my hometown. But this is a huge deal for people like where I'm from, because in my town, even though there's over 150,000 people living in the area of Fargo, North Dakota, Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo, that whole area, there's only one Best Buy, there's one Target, well, there's a Target on the other side of the river, and then there is Walmart. So, and a Sam's Club. You have one of each one. So let's say you go to Best Buy, during all these Thanksgiving deals that are going to come out, and they're sold out. Well, then your other two options are Target or Walmart. So, I mean, I understand what you and Lon were saying about how, maybe people where Walmarts are in the other parts of the country may not be interested.
That was my point.
But I'm here to play devil's advocate and say that, yes, this is a good thing that Walmart is carrying iPads for people who live in regions where there isn't an Apple store on every street corner, like in Los Angeles.
Second he leaves, all you can do is trash Lon's opinion. Sad.
Oh, come on. Lon knows that I love him.
Now, do they want to buy a Samsung Tab in Fargo, North Dakota?
To be quite honest, they probably don't even know about the Samsung tablet. Okay, I didn't say that. Moving on to the Samsung Galaxy tablet.
I did.
Will the pricing limit its success? And this is another one of those debatable questions. What do you think?
Well, it's going to be actually, I think, cheaper. I'm looking real quick.
It is going to be cheaper.
Cheaper than they originally.
Sprint and T-Mobile will be offering this for $399 with a 2-year contract agreement.
See, that's
which they always hook you with, of course. Or it'll be $650 for a full cost.
It makes so much more sense with a phone because you need it with a phone. You don't need it with one of these. So I would not have bought my iPad if I had to sign up for a commitment to a data plan, I think. I mean, I have a Wi-Fi. I don't want the data plan.
Well, I guess it kind of depends what you're using it for. For example, with Sprint, the service carrier I use, the kind of benefit here is that I have a Sprint cell phone service, and you can add a line of service for only $10 a month. So let's say I really want to have all those features on my Galaxy tablet.
Which you don't. not
Right,
the
because we
iPad.
all love iPads. I told you right now, I'm not going to get a tablet.
Certain
but-
people watch this show and they would not like you hearing that. Certain CEOs of certain companies.
Well, listen, if
Steve
they
Jobs.
if they can,
Oh, guys. I just heard the heaviest sighs behind me. Thank you guys. A little late, but
no, I'm saying that I will give it a fair shot, but I really love my iPads. But I'm saying that it could be beneficial to people who already have a phone line and want to add a tablet. So you pay to get the service contract for the tablet, and then you just add a line for $10, and then you have your tablet and your phone, and you're not paying that much more extra.
right.
So I get where it could be convenient, absolutely, but if you've already had your tablet and then you have to add service, it just gets really costly. I mean, we're talking about after taxes and fees and everything, probably like a $700 or $800 investment.
And right, and it's, you know, why not? Why don't I just go buy an iPad? Will be the question that they'll have to overcome, and they might. We are going to get one. Lon has promised me we'll play around with it. I will unassuredly, it could be, you know, the most wonderful device ever, and I will trash it because that's the kind of Apple fanboy I am. But I'll do my best to be fair and all of that junk.
You can, you know, be hooray for the iPad, and if the tablet is fantastic, I will sing its praises. So you don't have to, you know, go back on your
Turncoat.
fanboydom.
Which, it's an important thing.
Yes, of course, I get that. That's why I'm saying
Yes,
that I will help
you're-
you out with that.
thank you.
So you can go to sleep at night knowing that you did Apple right.
I am deeply in debt.
Okay, great. Just to finish up this story, I do want to say that they will be offering carrier-subsidized pricing structures and contractual commitments that are also common with other smartphones, in case anyone out there is actually looking for some specifics about this story about the Galaxy Tab. There are a bunch of numbers that were in this story. You can definitely look them up on PCWorld.com, where I found this story, if you are really interested in, you know, buying your Galaxy tablet with a Verizon, or excuse me, a Sprint or a T-Mobile plan. So now we're going to move on to iPad voted Gadget of the Year.
Shocker.
I know, right? You're so surprised. Apple swept this year's T3 Gadget Awards for 2010, taking the top 5 prizes, dubbed gongs. Why are they dubbed gongs? What is that about?
I don't want to know.
I don't know either.
Makes me think of the Gone Show, which was always a negative thing. You didn't want to get goned.
That's
so.
true. That is true. Well, these awards happened last weekend in London, and the iPad was chosen as Gadget of the Year, as we said, as well as the Innovation of the Year. Apple took 3 more prizes, with the iPhone 4 winning Commuter Gadget, MacBook Pro taking Best Computer, and the Apple Store is the chosen Best Retailer. Well, that's quite a sweep. They have the best phone, the best laptop, the best new gadget, they're the most innovative, and their stores are the best.
Sort of weird that they even have a Best Retailer award. It seems like, what else can we give Apple? Oh, they have really sweet stores that have a bunch of people in blue shirts that treat me very nice. I'm trying to think, Brookstone, who else would even be in the running there? Brookstone and a gadget retailer.
Radio Shack.
Oh
Best
yeah,
Buy.
Radio Shack is sure to win.
I don't know. There's no really. Now that you mention it, I can't think of any manufacturers of products that have standalone stores. Are there
Microsoft,
Samsung
but
stores?
I don't think
Just
Microsoft
individual?
has a store that they opened. I don't know. It was like a year.
They have
ago?
one store.
The test one in. Someone's going to correct me. I'm going to say it's in Seattle, but I could be totally wrong. But they were going to open more and more, and to be totally rip-off-ish of one Apple. But yeah, I don't know. It seems a weird sort of award to have in a gadget show where most people probably don't care, unless they just want to talk about how neat Apple is. So
Well,
maybe,
don't most people that are kind of like gadget heads, don't most people like that buy their stuff online anyway?
yeah, you would think. And maybe there was a best online retailer. I'm not sure. And in which case, I would guess Newegg or someone took it. But still, seems like an odd thing. That it seems like if it would be a night just to talk about how neat gadgets are, that you wouldn't want to talk about the buy-in experience. But
I guess that's true. It's more of a customer service-based thing. I just want to let you guys know out there that these awards were given out by T3 Magazine, as I said, and there was 750,000, so just 250,000 short of 1 million people voting. I mean, this is a lot of voting people. This is more than the Oscars or the Grammys or anything like that. So I think this has some weight. If this many people are voting and this is what they came up with.
well, a lot of people vote on the People's Choice Awards, and that doesn't tend to work out so hot either. MTV Movie Awards, et cetera, et cetera.
So what are you saying? Do you think that
I'm
all of
saying
these
that-
people are
I'm
wrong?
saying that ad populum is not a fallacy to fall into. That's all.
All right. Okay. Touche, touche. So, congratulations, Apple, on winning those 5 awards. You kick ass, as your biggest fan right here, Jacob, will agree.
Yes, even though it's not because 750,000 people say so.
Right. Well, I mean, why would you base your opinions on what those Brits think anyway?
Yeah.
Who cares about them? So moving on to the App Hall of Fame.
It's an elevator. Sorry, that's all I got.
Okay. This is sponsored by Flurry. There's a lot of people, I don't know if you guys have heard about this App Hall of Fame. There's a lot of people in the tech community that vote on these, and there's a bunch of inductees. I'm going to go ahead on the laptop and pull it up if I can. It said it closed unexpectedly. If the guys out there can pull it up, great. If not, we will show you on our iPads about all the apps. Starting off, Angry Birds, of course, was in an inductee for October 2010.
The initial class.
Right. This is the initial class. Yes, correct. So I love that I pulled up my iPhone version instead of my iPad version because I have both of them on here. Whoopsies. And then there's Home Run Battle 3D, Field Runners, Flight HD. There we go. Plants vs. Zombies, which I love. Doodle Jump, which I hear is fantastic.
And that I wanted to make real quick. I have a guilty admission. Someone on this show. I've played Plants vs. Zombies on someone else's iPad. I won't actually own any of these games.
What? You don't own any of these games?
I am not a casual gamer at all.
What?
This is a guilty admission. Now, that said, I was going through, I'm like, let me see how many of these I own. I own every non-game on here.
Yes, which is what I was just about to get to. You want to go ahead and read all of those?
Sure. Pandora, which is one of my... I'm pretty sure all of these, except for one, made my list. When Lon and I made a list a few weeks ago of our Hall of Fame, basically, and I'm pretty sure all of these made mine except for Evernote. It's Pandora, Shazam, Shazam might have not made mine, but maybe. Instapaper, which I love.
We had Marco here last week.
Evernote, Twitter, which was Tweety back in the day, and Simple Note, Simple Note, the newest release of Simple Note, get it. You just have to. It will replace the Notes app if you haven't gotten it already.
What's the difference between, Lon has been familiarizing me with Evernote. Because as you probably have noticed, I primarily use my iPad for gaming and not for productivity. I'm trying to get better at using it for productivity instead of using my laptop because it's much more portable, obviously. But what are the major differences between Simple Note and Evernote?
I mean, they just go after completely different wriggles. Simple Note is for taking notes, actually written word. And granted, you can do that on Evernote, but Evernote is so much more about collecting everything you'd ever want to amass. Links, photos, notes as well, and then throwing it away in the cloud, which granted Simple Note does as well. And storing forever, be able to search it on any computer, on any phone. It does a lot of neat stuff like OCRing photos. So if you took a picture of a menu, you would be able, and 10 minutes later you wanted to search for the menu that had really good chicken cacciatore on it, you would be able to search that, assuming you knew how to spell cacciatore, which I don't. I don't think.
That was really interesting that you picked that of all the things that are.
My grandfather always used to make it. I don't know, top of my head. Yeah.
I've never made that before.
It's tasty.
Yeah.
It's a tasty, tasty treat.
All right then.
But yeah, so they go after completely different verticals. Evernote is much more in the sort of collective mind, Dropbox, delicious kind of help me store everything, whereas Simple Note is much more just a note-taking app. So there's that. That said, all of these apps amazing. I've played those games. I'm like,
You just don't own them?
Yeah.
That's all right. I don't think at least somebody that owns them. So if you ever get a hankering, to play a little doodle jump.
And who doesn't with a name like that?
Then you will be able to call up your buddies and be like, hey, let's doodle together. That sounded bad.
That is not how I'd approach the matter.
All right, you guys, we're going to keep moving on here. Now it's time for the iPad video of the week. Now, Lon kind of started this segment, and I want to try to continue it in his honor about finding a kind of kooky way that people are using their iPad and showing a video of it. Now, the video that we're going to show you is 18 darbuka drums and 36 robotic arms that are being controlled via a wireless communication. The drum music is composed and played at a music sequencer on an iPad. Now, the project was presented at the Bat-Yam International Biennial of Landscape Urbanism. Now, that is just a mouthful. In September, as part of the Green to Blue Ecological Street Project. Now, during this project, electricity generated by wind turbines and photovoltaic.
I was about to say, I'm not going to be able to say it.
Photovoltaic cells was used to operate the robotic drums. Now, the drums were mounted on the wind turbine columns, creating a hybrid digital mechanic drumming circle. So let's go ahead and take a peek at this video so you guys can see exactly all this nonsense I'm talking about.
Come to me when you can play the saxophone on the iPad like that. Just mic it up. And...
I thought that was pretty phenomenal, that you could use the iPad to control those kinds of drums.
It's a fun device, and it'll be it's interesting that tablet computing. I mean, yes, Microsoft tablets have been around forever. They sucked. We all know that. This real mainstream is only not even a year in. We're actually just over 6 months now, I think. It's so young, and that people are already starting to do these kind of things that as the touch interface gets more and more exact and more less sort of cumbersome, it'll be really interesting to see what kind of stuff we can do without having a keyboard, basically. So it'll be interesting to see.
Absolutely. I mean, I never would have imagined trying to put together something like that. I didn't even know that that kind of music software existed. But then again, I'm not really a musician, so I would have no need to look that kind of thing up.
Although one thing, and I get the feeling that Apple, I mean, I'm a fan, I hate to bring this debate up again, so I'll keep it brief. I'm a fan of the controlled App Store. I'm glad that they, it works more like a video game rating system or movie rating system. You have to get your thing rated by the NBA before you can really get it out. And it has to, like if you release a Nintendo game, Nintendo has to sign off on it. Same thing for Apple. And I'm a fan of that. I think it gets a lot of cruft out of the system. That said, having no real good open method other than becoming a developer and then, hooking up your computer and installing it that way. No good way to distribute open things. Something that could, say, control a device like that you hook up manually without going through a weird process is difficult right now. And it'll be interesting to see how long Apple can keep that up, so to speak. It goes similar to Marco's point of last week when he was talking about how there's one user on this device. You can't have multiple people really on an iPad or on an iPhone, and the idea there is really, one, it's simplicity and it's a technological thing, but it forcing more iPads. You have to have your iPad. There can't be the family iPad. You can, but at the same time, if you wanted to buy anything through iTunes or hook any accounts up, there's no elegant way to do that. And it's these things that eventually the tablet computer is just going to have. It'll be interesting to see when they actually get there.
Get to the point of open development.
Not quite, but being able to have a little bit more openness and work a little bit more like a computer. Have multiple users, have the ability to, hey, I made this thing and I want to give it to 20 people and I'm not a giant corporation. Apple allows corporations to do that for this very reason that, hey, we want to have on our iPhones a way to scan barcodes and track inventory like that, but we don't want to put it out to the public. In the same way that, hey, maybe I only have 50 people and they're friends, but I only want them to have the app. I want them to be able to download it through my website, but at the same time, I don't want to go through the App Store process just to do that. And it'll be interesting how long it takes before Apple caves or finds a way that they are happy doing it.
I don't don't know if they'll ever cave. I think that they come from such a proprietary standpoint that they can say, I don't ever need your business. I don't ever need you to have that. You know what I mean? And I don't think the people are concerned enough. People are concerned enough to make a riot about it. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that, and I think it'll be eventually. I'm thinking like iPad 5 or something will come around where there's a more elegant way to do things like that. But they've got such a lead in the market right now that they don't need to cave to things that really aren't their forte. They're much more about curation and design, and that they're going to keep pounding it with that until someone forces their hand. And there's a big enough market of home brewers or whatever that want to be able to, quickly get something up like that up. It might not be that simple. It might be, in the App Store, there might be an app that allows that more easier for people to do things like that.
Someday. We can all dream.
Over the rainbow.
All right, now here comes my favorite part of the show. That's right, it's Planet of the Apps.
You maniacs! Damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Don't download it, Lon. You might not like how it runs.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. I smile every time I watch that video. So this week in Planet of the Apps, I let Mr. Jacob here choose our vertical, and he went with shopping because it is that wonderful holiday time, almost. I mean, we're not through Halloween yet, but we're getting close.
Yeah.
I mean, we're right around the corner. There's also a lot of really cool gift apps that we should talk about maybe next week or the week after that I would love to show everybody. So first up, I'm going to go ahead and go first. I found this really cool app from a really big website that I think everybody out there knows called Amazon Mobile.
What's that?
Amazon is my friend. This is the app, you guys. I highly recommend, if you don't already have an Amazon.com account set up with one-click settings, that you go to your browser and do that first. That's the only kind of prerequisite once you buy this app before it's really just amazing. So what's really cool about this is that it gives you recommendations for me. As you see right here, it has recommended Towers of Midnight by Robert Jordan, because I'm a big Wheel of Time fan, which you may not have known.
I did not.
Yes, I'm a huge fan. I'm on book 10 just now. No, 11. Book 10, 11. I can't remember which one
high up there.
I think I'm on 11. So it has recommended for me to buy this book, and then they also have this cool See All Deals button. So we'll go ahead and just click on that so we can see what kind of deals they're offering today. So they have Torchwood here, Season 1 or Season 2. We don't want that. Lightning deals, platinum-plated sterling silver. Oh, that's kind of pretty. So let's say I wanted to buy this, which I don't really, but let's just hypothetically say I wanted to. What you can do is it brings this up to you. It has a special discount price like Amazon does, and you can just hit Add to Cart, which is now in your cart up here. So let's say I'm like, okay, I'm ready to check out. You hit your checkout, just like Amazon.com. But what's cool about this is that I'm not gonna sign in so you guys don't steal my passwords. But you have with one click settings, what you can do is you can just literally you buy it and you're done. You literally hit buy, purchase. All of your information, your credit card information, your address and shipping information is already preloaded, and then bam, it's done. And as you can see here, this is my costume that I'm gonna buy for Halloween that I'm looking for, Princess Peach from Mario. What do you think? Yeah, cute? We're doing a shopping segment, come on.
I guess. I'm so much more of a fan of making my own costume, not buying it. You're cheating. You're cheating by buying it.
I know, but I'm a terrible seamstress. And I completely cave to the age-old adage that girls just want to dress up like sluts on Halloween. It's true, we do.
That is why
we all want to look pretty and sexy, and we can only get away with it on Halloween.
You are getting this show in trouble. I'm keeping quiet. I'm smart about this.
I'm sorry. I'm just being real. Do you want me to be fake, Jacob?
Real talk. Real talk.
Real talk with Andrea Renee on This Week in iPad. All right, so what do you have over there?
eBay. I am the other. You might have heard of it. Have you heard eBay?
Wait a minute. Wait, doesn't that woman, Meg Whitman, have something to do with eBay?
Well, let's not talk about it. This is not
we don't want to talk politics.
Jacob ranting. Anyway, so the eBay app, the reason why I picked this first, one, I'm looking at some really nerdy Warcraft auctions that I probably should have hidden to pretend I was cool. I'm cooler than I am. But I brought it up because I believe it was the eBay CEO, 2 months into the iPad, said that the eBay buying experience on the iPad is better than mobile, it's better than the web, it's better than it's the most graceful experience, and I tend to agree. I think the eBay website can get really convoluted, and there's so many ways you can organize your shopping and the things you're looking for that it gets a little confusing, whereas it's really, really easy here. I'm trying to think of something I want to buy. Coffee machine, because I never wake up in the morning, and yesterday the Mahalo coffee machine was off limits and I was not a fun person to be around, so let's just do coffee machine real quick. And wow, cotton yarn machine, why is dark coffee? So let's say I want to buy this one. It brings things up. It's extremely elegant, and the apps I'm going to be reviewing later, that's basically all they add is just elegance, but the organization behind it, I think, is much, much easier. There's nothing where I'm like, oh, how would I do this? Watch is right here. I can read the description. I hit the picture and it gets bigger.
Wow.
Close it. You can place your bid. I left feedback on an item I had bought earlier this week. Which hopefully my roommate never watches the show, because this is part of many of his Christmas gift. He's obsessed with the color orange, so I found orange coffee cups. Coffee, big thing.
What's really interesting is I have a good friend that's obsessed with the color orange.
Which is odd. It's an odd color to be obsessed with, but there it is.
Yeah, well, those are cool coffee cups. I think your roommate will enjoy those.
I am being told, wow, it's the new lighting in here. I'm not used to the glare, so I apologize for that. I'm being yelled at from the studio to do so. So
we did get new lights, you guys. So hopefully we look prettier this week.
Not quite used to it. I apologize for that, but I will watch. Thank you guys. But like I said, everything is really available here. I clicked this item. There's a nice little button that said, hey, you need to leave feedback. Clicked it, typed it in real quick. And since everything when you do an eBay is really one click, little bit of typing, that's it. Unless you're posting ads. I've never actually sold anything on eBay, so I can't attest to that. But as a decently frequent buyer, it's click, 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 search a little bit, click, click, leave a little bit of feedback. And you want that experience to be really, really quick.
Right.
We're being yelled at even more. I can do no right in the text guy's eyes, but oh well. But overall, it's a really wonderful experience. There's all your organization is there. If you are a seller, like I said, I have no experience in that, but all your auctions are listed there. Everything is organized. Everything is slick, which to me has always been a problem with eBay. It's always been a convoluted experience. So it's free. Sign in your account and use it. And have more. If you've ever been daunted by eBay, because what if I forget about the auction? It has push notifications. So I think if you've been daunted but have kind of want to try it, it will solve that problem for you.
Well, fantastic. I am an eBay user. I actually haven't bought anything on eBay in a while. I like to buy concert tickets and things on eBay, and game tickets for like the Lakers, who are going to start their season here pretty soon. So maybe I'll have to buy this, use free, download this eBay app. So one of my next apps that I'm going to talk about is a really simple app. It's called Shop. What it is it's a list. So basically, let's say that you have to go to Target, and I always get off track on Target. I know, hopefully a lot of people...
Shower curtains? I could use new shower curtains.
Exactly, right? It happens. You go in needing 3 things, you come out with $150 worth of stuff. So let's say you're like, okay, I need to get Tide, right? I need to get some laundry detergent. So that's on my list. Okay, I also need to get, let's say, paper towels, right? Bam, on the list. What else would you need at Target? Let's say hairspray. I use lots of hairspray. Do you use a lot of hairspray?
I don't.
No.
I have Bumble white cream thing.
Ooh, you
fancy.
Use the high class
I know.
stuff. You can actually buy that at Target now. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah.
So let's buy some of that.
Yeah, right? Okay, so let's say I need these 3 things and I actually want to stick to my list. So what this does is basically it's like a grocery list, right? So then as you're going through, you can change your settings here. You can have a display count on the icons. We have that on. The auto lock is on. What we can do is see here it says clear to shake. So what that means is let's say that you have I don't want to pick it up and shake it, so we'll go to check button instead. But you can shake it when you're done buying it, for example. So we'll go back to here. Let's say I bought the hairspray. So I cross it off. Check. Get the pair of towels. Check. Tide. Oops, I hit the wrong button. Check. So this is a really, really simple app. I mean, it's very basic. It pretty much takes the pen and paper out of your hand and it makes you more technologically savvy. And what it does is it also saves your list. So let's say I want the same list for like 2 weeks from now when I run out of hairspray and paper towels and laundry detergent.
Who's going through paper hairspray? I'll give you, but paper towels that quick?
Well, I guess if you buy like the jumbo 12-pack, you don't have to. So let's say every 2 months I go through paper towels or
There you
whatever.
go.
So you can save your lists. It's really simple. It's probably more of an app geared towards women who are buying things for their kids
Now, how much
or
is it?
whatever. It's free.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's it. Because I have,
There's a bunch of these
my
list
nerdy
apps out there on the market for 99 cents, $1.99, $2.99. I figure, you know what, this is simple. You don't need lots of bells and whistles when it comes to making a shopping list. And how cool does it look when you put this in like the little kid seat in the cart and you like walk around with your iPad? Okay, so maybe that's a little pompous, but I mean, it works.
Sometimes you gotta look cool.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So my next two, and I'm gonna combine two because I think they hit a experience I see a lot in the iPad, and as a programmer, or at least used to be a programmer, would get this feeling. I have a feeling iPhone developers and iPad app developers are running into this a lot. So it's the Living Social and Guilt app, and Guilt especially. Load it up real quick. It's a beautiful app. It's got really nice effects. It's really good way to browse. I want to buy a watch. It's got things on the left. These are all horrifically expensive for me, at least. But let's pretend I had money for there was one a $525 watch, because who doesn't?
Right, exactly. I have that laying around.
It's a necessity in life. I'm a Guilt member, it's invite only, but it is dumb simple to get in. It's not hard at all. It's like if you know someone who has an account, can you
invite me?
I can invite you there, but at the same time, if you search for blog Guilt membership, there are blog writers who, it's not like they limit you. There's a number X amount of invites. So there are blogs where you can just sign up through it. So the invite process is only to make it feel exclusive when it's really not.
Kind of like Sam's Club or Costco.
I think that they're probably going after a little demographic, slightly different demographic. But then you can add things on. It saves all the info really well. But my only sort of qualm about it is it doesn't really add almost anything to the experience. I think the one exception, especially on the iPhone, is that their Guilt sales go on sale at a certain time, and then there's only a certain amount, and you have to rush. And there's push notifications, which is, I think, in my mind, more helpful on the iPhone, because unless you have data, I guess I don't. So on the iPad, but other than that, it's essentially the website. There's nothing. Things are a little flashier, but other than that, I don't understand why they thought this was a giant necessity other than a marketing ploy, and that's my email, which actually reminds me, it was actually Mike Smith, a watcher, who recommended shopping alongside a lot of other really good ideas that we'll probably do later in the week. So thank you, Mike, for the idea of shopping. You gave me credit for it, and of course, it's not my idea.
Oh, that's all right. You could have taken credit. Mike wouldn't mind. But we've given you a shout out. Thank you, Mike. And if you guys do have ideas for us for planning of the apps or for game reviews or cool videos, you can send them to Jacob or I. You can send them to me at Andrea@thisweekend.com or to Jacob at Mahalo.com. Correct?
Yeah, that'll work. Or Jacob at thisweekend.com. I have both.
Oh,
I'm all over the network.
You are all over.
I
Man.
collect emails. But just show up real quick. It's the same thing, basically. Granted, it's going to be a little...
so now this is in your browser on the iPad versus the app.
Now, coming up with an iPhone app makes a lot of sense because it's just different, at different aspect ratio. But on iPad, it's the same thing. So that has that experience. Same thing with Living Social, which I'll bring up real quick. Living Social has a little cool thing. You can use your current location so it knows, oh, you're in LA. Clearly you want a manicure and a pedicure, because that's what I'm looking for.
Well, yes.
Buy 5. Can I buy 5? I don't think, oh, they do. Please let me buy 5. Proceed the payment. Because, one every day for next week.
Or you could give them away as gifts.
No.
Ladies love getting spa things as gifts.
Don't like.
Do you have any ladies in your life, Mr.
No.
Jacob?
No, I just admitted I'm talking about the Living Social app on an iPad thing. No, I don't.
Well, it's Mike's fault for suggesting a shopping vertical for Planet of the Apps.
Damn you, Mike Smith. But it's really simple. And again, there's not a whole lot that you can't get on the web experience already. So again, they're free, so you might as well.
Right.
And especially if you use the site a lot, it's just easier to access and a little cleaner. That said, don't think it's going to change the way you do it, like I thought the eBay app did.
Right.
And that might be more testament of the excellent sites that Living Social and Guilt already have, whereas eBay's is a little funky.
Right, well, and I would agree, like the Amazon mobile that I showed you is very similar to the Amazon site. The only thing that I found
But
easier,
it has an experience like eBay where
Right.
you click, and it makes things, it's
faster.
drag, click,
Yeah.
done. I've bought my thing. And I think,
Absolutely.
and I could be wrong, but I think, obviously not on the iPad because it doesn't have a camera, but the iPhone version of the Amazon app added barcode scanning.
Yes, that was the
recently.
story this week that came out.
So if the iPad 2 has a camera, which it will, it'll add that. And then that is an immediate, giant, huge deal. It's like you're at a Borders or something in CSC that is half the price on Amazon, scan, buy, you're done. And you can use Borders basically as just a browsing scheme. So, oh, what's new? Let me actually be able to hold this thing that I'm going to be owning soon. So
yeah, it's a really interesting, because books is one of the things that I buy the most on Amazon, because you can buy them from used bookshops or used from personal people for a fraction of the price that you buy them for new.
Right.
So, interesting. I will have to do that once I get my new iPad with its camera, because I don't have an iPhone.
6 more months.
Yes, the countdown is on. So who do you think takes the cake here?
eBay.
Yeah, okay, I'll agree with you. I mean, I could disagree just for the sake of disagreeing, but out of everything that we looked at today, I definitely will have to say that eBay is the best.
And then again, Amazon and mobile definitely worth checking. Actually, eBay gets too convoluted on an iPhone. I don't really use it. If I have to leave quick feedback or something, I might use it in a pinch. But eBay on iPad, winner.
All right, so that's it for Plans of the Apps. Like I said, if you guys have ideas, please send them to Jacob or I. We're always looking for your feedback. And we are getting close to running out of time, so I'm just going to go ahead and Cut the Rope for next week, because it is such a cool game by Chilingo, who is a fantastic developer. And it's got this cute little bug. It looks like a frog, kind of.
What is with you and bugs?
I don't know. They're just... I don't really like...
Does that have flowers?
I don't like... No, there's no flowers. You're so anti-Fiona's flowers. It was fun. I don't know. I don't like bugs in real life, but I like video game bugs because they're fake.
Yeah, and they can draw cute faces on them.
Yes, and they get those little big eyes, with like the big whites, and they just look so they look adorable. Anyway, I do want to make sure I say thank you very much to our folks over at Hover.com. Lon came in and showed you just how easy it is to call Hover's customer service. They were there. They picked up right away, and he said that he could transfer Lon's .me to his .com in just 5 minutes. So I'm going to have to make that call myself tonight and get myself my own .me for just $5, or like you pointed out,
$4.50.
$4.50 if you
use that 50 cents on some gumballs.
Yes, exactly right. If you use our twi.hover.com, you can get a 10% discount on all of your Hover purchases. It's a great alternative to a .com. Get your .me. I'm gonna go get mine tonight. I've decided it's gonna happen. I've been waiting too long. And we also want to say thank you to our great friends over at Gazelle.com. If you have any gadgets hanging around your house, you want to sell them, make some money, maybe you want to buy some Christmas gifts for people that are coming up pretty soon, and you want to get rid of something else, instead of re-gifting, you can sell it on Gazelle.com. Nearly 100,000 people have made money selling their unwanted gadgets on Gazelle, so check it out. So where can our lovely viewers find you if they want to reach out and communicate?
Jacob at thisweekend.com or at Jacob Birch. That's B-U-R-C-H. I am not like the tree or Little Simons. B-U-R-C-H, J-A-C-O-B. B-U-R-C-H at Twitter.
Well, fantastic. You can find me, Andrea Renee, on Twitter at Andrea Renee. I'm also at Andrea at thisweekend.com, or I'm on YouTube at my gamer handle, BLSSM01. Got lots of cool video game stuff if you guys are into games. I'm into games, quite clearly. And I also have a website, AndreaRenee.com. So we want to get your feedback. Tell us what you think about our show and our new segments, and give us suggestions, because we love hearing them. So thank you very much for watching This Week in iPad. We will see you guys next week.